It's hard to believe, yet it really isn't. It's another year with no moves at the NBA trade deadline for the Miami Heat. And I know some people would be like, well, Nick, they made moves last year. They got Davion Mitchell. They got Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, they were forced into that by Jimmy Butler's trade request. This front office has a wide history of doing absolutely nothing at the deadline. And I don't know if there were that many Pat Riley front office apologists and defenders left, in all honesty. But if there was any, it's all gone now. This might be the most down I have seen the Heat fan base. It is maybe the most down I have ever been in my entire lifetime of being a Heat fan. And as we will talk about everything on today's show, what was your one-word reaction to the Miami Heat's trade deadline, which included absolutely zero moves? Mine, abysmal. I just don't think there's another way to put it. To be all in on Giannis, find out that isn't going to come to fruition, and have no backup plan just shows a lack of vision in a word that I've used frequently, proactiveness, or being proactive. Like, you should have had things prepared if you found out Giannis was not going to be traded, which happened at about 11 a.m. Central Time, noon Eastern Time. So when you heard this report, which I'm sure Miami finally knew this before the report, because it was probably made known before, they had, let's just say, at bare minimum, 4 hours to make a move outside of Giannis. Yet they did not. And just a quick sidebar, Giannis tweeting this after the deadline of Legends Don't Chase, They Attract, with the video of Leonardo DiCaprio and Wolf of Wall Street, I'm not effing leaving. He is, without a question, the biggest loser in sports. There is no world, I'm so serious when I say this. I would not think about trading for him in the offseason. If I am the Heat, I am moving forward with the belief that Giannis is a Buck forever, and I'm not even going to waste my time trying to get him. Because he has shown he is unwilling to ask out. He has shown that he wants to be in Milwaukee. And I don't know if these media hits from Shams and others were fake. I doubt it. Or they came from Giannis's camp. Either way, if they came from Giannis's camp and then he tweets that, I'm done. I don't even want him. I'm so over Giannis. Don't even want to pursue him in the offseason. Have someone else. But going back to what happened today, how do you have no backup plan? You are 27-25. You are painfully mid with Norman Powell, who's a first-time All-Star on an expiring contract. You have Terry Rozier on an expiring $26 million contract. You have Andrew Wiggins, who has a player option next year, likely going to opt in, but you never know, he could opt out. But you do not have a plan to utilize some of those contracts to sell them to get draft picks. I can understand if Milwaukee said, yeah, we're just not trading Giannis. Like, I can understand that. I can't understand no other move after the fact. And a lot of people are going to ask about Ja Morant. Barry Jackson saying that the Heat discussed whether to pursue Ja, but decided against it for several reasons and listed out the contract and the injury history as the reasons why. People need to go. This front office has zero direction. They are always whale hunting, looking for the big star, yet they never get them. Kevin Durant, Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard, KD again, and now Giannis. This front office always prioritizes trying to land the big guy. But you know what they always do? They leave themselves with not enough assets to get the trade done because they aren't proactive to go trade away guys like Norman Powell and Andrew Wiggins to get draft capital. This team, this front office, is an absolute joke. I can't accept mediocrity. I can't do it. because they are unwilling to trade veterans for future draft picks, they will always be mid. I will not accept it. I am mentally checked out. Now, unfortunately for me, I still have a job to do. Because we're still going to be here every day. We're going to be live on Friday for Heat Celtics. And we'll have daily content around the Miami Heat. So make sure you subscribe because we're not going anywhere. But you can tell how fired up and passionate I am about this team. And unfortunately, I care too much. They were the only team in the Eastern Conference to not make a trade. Only one. It's 15 teams. 14 Eastern Conference teams made a trade. You had the Indiana Pacers, who are last in the Eastern Conference. Last. Make a trade for their future. Getting a Vika Zubac for Mathurin and draft picks. You have the worst team in the conference having the foresight to go out and get someone that, yeah, it won't help them compete now, but it will help them next year when Tyrese Haliburton returns. Miami has never made a move for the future, whether it be trading someone away or acquiring anyone. There were only 3 teams in the entire NBA not to make a trade. The Heat, Rockets, and Spurs. And when you look at those 3 teams, it's a massive polar bear. One team is in the play-in and sucks. The other 2 are title contenders and top 5 in their conference. It's just a joke. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say that today. I hope you guys understand it. I'm just so freaking over this organization. Andy Ellisberg, Pat Riley, Alonzo Mourning, whoever's making the call, they're bad at their job. Objectively bad at their job. I'm ranting more, but today's show is brought to you by PrizePicks. The big game in football is just 3 days away. And if you want to get it on the last football game of the year with Daily Fantasy, get started today where you get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5. Just pick more or less in at least 2 player stat projections. And if you get your picks right, you could cash in. They've got injury reboots, so if one of your players gets hurt in the first half and doesn't return in the second half, you won't lose that lineup. The injured player gets removed, and the rest of the healthy players continue on. They have weekly specials and daily specials as well, including this big game max discount. Drake May, half a passing yard. Just got to go more there, and you could cash in when you pair it up with another stat projection. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups when you play $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. I mean, go back to this. Unbelievable stuff here from the front office. Barry Jackson saying they went all in for Giannis, made everyone but a Bam available. I will say this, and out of all the critiques they'll have for the front office, one of them will not be that they did not offer their entire package for Giannis. I truly do believe that they went to Milwaukee and said, hey, what do you want outside of Bam? We'll try to make it happen. And Miami was just either Miami was unable to because they didn't have enough draft picks, or the Bucks still were unwilling to trade Giannis because there were reports out there that the Heat answered everything that the Bucks wanted outside of probably the draft capital because they wanted like 4 or 5 first-round picks. But you see the Ja Morant discussion there. But how about this bottom line? They remain hopeful and they can make noise in the playoffs. Make fucking noise? This team is awful. They are awful. They're 27-25 in a weak East. You are 0-4 against the Orlando Magic. You just got absolutely smoked by the Atlanta Hawks on Tuesday night while you were honoring the 2006 title team. There is no justification for this front office to have the belief that they are able to make noise in the Eastern Conference. Like, are you serious? They are 7th in the East. They're going to be in the play-in again, and they're going to get hammered. Like, I know exactly how this season ends. They're going to lose their first play-in game against Toronto or Orlando, and then they're going to beat one of Chicago or Atlanta to make the playoffs as the 8th seed, and then get swept by the Pistons, Knicks, or Celtics in the first round of the playoffs and draft 15th. That's the Heat way. It really is. The front office has lost the fan base. I mean, I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it on the YouTube streets. Nobody trusts this front office. Like, I saw someone tweet this out, couldn't be more true. How, as a organization, are you trying to market yourselves to your own fans? Because how do you market yourself? You market a plan. The Heat don't have one. Like, even if you are bad, you will tell your fans, hey, stick with us. We're trying. We're going to need to be bad for a bit, and then we're going to be good. Or if you're competing, you obviously have that plan. But when you make no moves and no signs of effort to get your team in a better spot than it is currently, but you also make no effort to show that, okay, we're going to go into a rebuilding period, what are you? Nothing. Like, what do Heat fans look forward to? Seriously, what should we look forward to? Watching our young guys play? Eric Spoelstra doesn't even play. Jokic doesn't wear that much. Making the play-in again? Who cares? It's going to be the same thing that's happened the last 3 years. Like, I like Bam. People know I'm a Bam guy, but I've often admitted that he is not a number one guy. He is a number 3 on a title team. Yet he's forced to be our top player. That's an issue. Norman Powell is forced into being the number 1 scoring option. He's very good. He's not a number 1 scoring option. Like, the only player that I think is truly in the role fitted for him the best is Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Andrew Wiggins, and no surprise, those are 2 of your most valuable guys right now. Jaquez top 3 in 6 Man of the Year voting. Andrew Wiggins, I thought, was one of your more valuable. I thought Andrew Wiggins probably had the most value in the trade market on this team outside of Bam. Because Bam would go for Jaren Jackson Jr. price tag at bare minimum, so at least 3 first-round picks and young guys. You saw Zubac go for 2 legs. So you know what Bam's price is. You know what? I wonder if Bam would request a trade in the offseason. And is it hard to blame him if he does? Is it hard to blame him if he does? You know what the funny thing is? Some of the people in the chat are going to watch me say that and say, yeah, trade Bam, trade Bam. And then they'll also be like, well, we got to get 3 or 4 first-round picks for him. And then completely contradict each other by saying, yeah, trade Bam, he makes us worse, trade Bam. Oh, we need 3 or 4 first-round picks. I tell you what, if I see anybody in the chat and comments that I know have said trade Bam before say that we should be getting 3 or 4 first-round picks, I'm going to find where you live and slap you. Because that would just be completely contradictory of everything you believe. Because if you think he's not good enough and the Heat should trade him, then you also should believe that you shouldn't be getting multiple first-round picks. So I'm just putting a warning out to you right now. That's going to do it for today's show. I'm hot. We're going to have another video out tomorrow and be live on the channel, unfortunately. See you then.